All eyes on Doge. Big run up to the moon. Whew. Doge still going up. All eyes on Doge. Still big run up to the moon. Keep going up. Going up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Up. Movement in Doge. Dogecoin. Up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Up. Movement in Doge. Dogecoin. 42.60. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin.
Hey everybody, Kriss here. Welcome on a Friday afternoon, Friday evening. We'll get the Saturday morning folks from Australia and Asia coming in a little bit, as we always do. Welcome everybody. KrissPax Live. We got bulls versus bears today and how Dogecoin can cut right through all that. Got some good Dogecoin news. Got some other meme coin news. We'll look at that. And yeah, what's going on with Bitcoin, right? But it's as predicted, and I'll show you that because we got some fakers out there, and then we've got the real thing here. Kriss Live. Welcome everybody. Let me drop down here in the corner. Bit of news from last night. I did not post any shrimp pictures because there was no shrimp. There was no shrimp. And I didn't take pictures of any of the other food because, you know, you're holding a beer in one hand, right? And you got your plate with your appetizers, right? And your other food in your other hand, and you can't take pictures, right? So we had appetizers were some fruits like grapes and stuff, you know, with the carrots and the celery and the other thin little things you can dip in. And then they had Italian meats. So we had the Italian meats and the mini burgers. And the mini burgers were very good. The mini burgers were good. And then they had these other little mac and cheese things, and they had these other little ball things of it was kind of like it was almost like a cornbread that was wrapped around like a cheese on the inside. And that was pretty good too. So, but I had enough, but must be a little underwhelmed that they didn't have a seafood plate. So missed out on that. But I did get a picture of the holiday bears they had, and I posted that on X as well. So I haven't covered Luna yet. The whole meme thing is coming. I'll get to that. Just started here. We got a lot to cover today, so grab a chair, grab a drink, an appetizer yourself if you're getting ready for dinner, if you already had dinner, maybe some dessert or some popcorn or something. We got a lot to talk about today. Bulls versus bears, because we got a lot of bulls out there. We got a lot of bears out there, but Dogecoin can come at you when you least expect it. Dogecoin can come at you when you least expect it. And we'll just, give that guy a boot. Because, I don't got time for that shit. So we just took care of that. That guy just came back with a new name, and I just booted it because I don't got time for that. I'm in too good of a mood. So anyway, yeah, bye. The boot. Boy, it was early too. That was early. All right, what do we got going on? We got Dogecoin at 13.8. Again, not the price we want, but it's the price we have. So there's that. And there's Bitcoin at 89.3 as predicted, and I'll show you that prediction. In fact, this morning I posted the 89.8, the big wick that came down, because that was the leverage liquidation that I was looking for. And then what did Bitcoin do? Bitcoin turned around and came up and then dumped even lower. So yeah, dumped even lower. So more leverage taken out. So we had all the leverage of that, but then we get shorts going after the memes, and I will show you that as well. So yeah, why'd this guy come back under a new name? Thank you. As soon as you see it again, boot. But thank you very much. I don't got time for that crap. Oh, dumb. So that's where we start today. Look, fear and greed index, still fear. Still fear. It's now fear. It was fear yesterday. It was extreme fear last week. Last month, it was extreme fear. It's still fear. We're still fear. Crypto market is still fear. Fear still dominating the dashboard. But that's usually where the best setups begin. Sentiment can stay depressed, yet price often turns before the mood does. But does it? Sentiment is still pretty bad. It's pretty bad out there. However, everything is green. Stocks, gold. Well, actually, gold was green this morning and then dumped this afternoon. Stocks were green for a bit and turned red. And then at the end of the day, just turned up a little bit. But Bitcoin is down 4%, fully erased all the Vanguard pump that we had. But then Whale Panda says on no news. There was no news. So what happened? Eric says the OGs again, y'all need to have a sit down and talk this out. A house divided. But Whale Panda says, except they aren't. Not a lot of old coins moving at all. Whenever they do, it is major news. We've been above 100K for almost a year. People that held that long aren't that dumb to start dumping now at lower prices, which is true. And these accounts on Twitter, every time Bitcoin takes a nosedive, they always say, who's selling? Who's selling? And I've already explained it all. There's nobody selling, right? There's no investors selling. It's the market makers. It's the exchanges and market makers. They're dropping the price in order to take out the leveraged longs. And they did it again. So what happened? What happened here? Here's Crypto Pulse, right? We expected price to head back into the FIN levels or FIB levels around 88K. Currently, we are getting that move. Stay tuned. Take note of our analysis. We profit when the market moves up or down. And I'm just like, the guy, I looked at his earlier posts. He did not predict this pullback. Did not predict this pullback from everything I could see from this guy, Crypto Pulse. Didn't predict it. And we profit when the market moves up or down. No, he didn't print any shorts either. So I don't know what he's talking about. But Kriss, I got the proof. If you were here on Wednesday, here I was. Check this out. So everything up here, these are all shorts. These are all active shorts. They all want the price to keep going down. The longs are down here. And then the 90,000's right there. $225 million right there at 90,000, which I predicted Bitcoin would come back and sweep out, just like they did back here. And that's what happened. And that was exactly what happened. Came down to 90K on Bitcoin. And in fact, this morning hit 89.8. So that's what I posted. That's what I predicted. It took 2 days, but it did it. It swept it out. But then, right after that was done, the market makers would say, okay, took that out. Price came back up on Bitcoin all the way up to 91.4, from 89.8 to 91.4. And then guess what? New longs came in to ride the wave back up. And so what did the market makers do? They dumped the price even lower. There was no selling going on here. This was total manipulation. yet again for Bitcoin. So if someone wants to say Dogecoin sucks, I'm like, just look at the Bitcoin, just say Bitcoin sucks, because Doge followed Bitcoin just like almost every other cryptocurrency did. They all did the same thing. ETH, down, up, dump. Like ETH was even worse on that second dump. And on and on and on. You can go to Solana and you can see the big dump. You can go to Cardano and you can see the big dump. You can go to HBAR, even SHIB, and even XRP, which is threatening to get back below $2 again. So I'm just saying, don't be beaten up on Dogecoin today. It's following the market, which is mostly Bitcoin manipulation. Yes, the M word. Yes, the M word, Charlotte. Manipulation. So that's what's going on today. And Kriss, of course, predicted it. And here it was. It happened. I thought it would be the next day, Thursday, and it happened on Friday. Thursday had a little pump because of the Vanguard news, right? Vanguard, which had been totally anti-crypto yesterday, said, we think that we'll allow our users to invest in crypto. It's through ETFs, but it's still crypto, and they would still have to buy the underlying asset, or whoever, the BlackRocks, the Fidelities, would buy more of that underlying asset. So, but I covered all of the ETF stuff and all of the other things that Bitcoin is doing in this morning's video. Did you check out my video this morning? It was another banger. This was a good one because it was why Bitcoin is no longer being thought of as a currency, and that Dogecoin is what Bitcoin was meant to be. Great video. Surprised there aren't more views on it, but hey, people will come around. I'm usually ahead of the game. That's all right. People will come around. Ash Crypto says, look, what is this pattern called? What is this pattern called? It's called manipulation, is what it's called. It's the manipulation pattern. As Tolga says, this isn't a classical chart pattern. It's forced liquidity behavior. What you're seeing is a combination of a liquidation cascade. Sharp vertical moves like this typically reflect large clusters of leveraged long positions being wiped out in minutes, as I've been saying. So you guys get it here. Some of you newbies need to get on board. What moves the crypto market? For the most part, it's not buying and selling. It is manipulation by the exchanges and market makers yet again. And that's what today was. Why? Because they can. They want to take out leveraged trades. Now, as I was setting up, I was looking at the at just where the latest trading has been, and you see all the red here, which means they were taking out shorts. And I saw this $1.2 million on Luna Classic. What? $1.2 million of shorts got wiped out on Luna Classic. And then I was like, well, let me check the chart here on Luna, because I was like, what is going on with Luna? Because somebody else had posted here, Luna Classic was up 47%. And I was like, what? Luna Classic up 47%. And then I looked at Luna and I was like, no, Luna's up 60%. I mean, look at this. It's just up. Look at that chart. And I'm just like, wait a second. Wait a second. Are we in a bull market? I mean, look, Luna. This is Luna, the old Luna, right? Up 60% today. And then we look at Luna Classic, and Luna Classic is up 113% now. It just keeps going up. Yeah, Lunk, Marmello. Exactly, Lunk. Just going up. Just like, what? There's no news, right? There's no Luna. There's no Terra Luna anymore. It's a meme coin or meme token, both of them. Who's pumping it? I don't know. Somebody's buying the shit out of it, though. That's for sure. And then we got this guy saying, look, let's pump FTT too, right? Let's start buying FTT, and maybe FTT could go on a Luna Classic kind of run. Let's all buy FTT, because he posted this after Luna started running. So it's like, maybe we can get in the ground floor on FTT, and maybe FTT will start pumping too. I don't know. Crazy. But that's what's going on there. However, we've got some Doge stuff to talk about. I know Dogecoin is down 5%, right? Dogecoin chart not looking good. We had the double bottom here, and it looks like it may test a third bottom here down at like 13.5. That looks like that is in the works right now. And we get a triple bottom pattern. Ugh. Those usually don't end well. So let's hope this turns around. But there's stuff going on with Doge that we got to talk about. This is the good stuff, Ryan. This is the good stuff. Here it is. How to see the Dogecoin payment option code and button on the new Tesla website. And it's like, well, yes, we talked about the Dogecoin code being written in the payment options for Tesla cars, but it's not enabled. But Paulo, our friend, Inevitable 360, one of the Dogecoin devs, he knows how to show that actually on the website. And so this is what he did. He went onto the website and he goes and picks a car. Let's say, which one does he pick? He picks the Model X. All right, he's going to order a Model X. He's going to go down and he wants to do an order. It's like, okay, we'll do an order. But now he goes into the actual code and he says, look, let's change that to be the Dogecoin. And there's the button right there. It knows what that is. It knows what the Dogecoin button is. It's written in already. It just needs to be enabled. Order with Dogecoin. So that's written into the code to be able to do that. So Paulo was just showing that's what it can do, because it's all written into the design on the checkout of what that button is. And there's the Dogecoin words written there as payment method and bridge, all written into the code already. All the occurrences of Dogecoin. That's for all the Dogecoin button was that part of it. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So we got that. So thanks, Paulo, for checking that out and what that looks like with the Doge button. But it's not enabled. Just flip the switch. I know, right, Charles? Just flip the switch. Come on, Elon. Let's do that. Flip the switch. So we had that. And Troy says it's been hidden there for 3 years. If I remember, Paulo says, well, this is the new website. This is the new website. And it's still embedded in the code on the new website. So it's still there. It is still there. So we got that. We got the Doge Whisperer. This is Andrew DeFrancesco, who is one of the leaders of the House of Doge. And he says, hey, look, Tom Lee is still talking super cycle, right? Bitcoin to 300K, ETH to this crazy $60,000 figure. It's like, of course, he wants it to go there because he's invested so much money into ETH. Yeah, it's totally ridiculous, right, Javier? I mean, Tom Lee's just, he's turning into a bit of making a fool of himself, actually, with these crazy numbers he throws out there. It's like no one's going to want to talk to him anymore. But Andrew also says, look, Dogecoin mints 10 MPD. And I'm like, what? 10 MPD? What's that? 21 shares, House of Doge. They have an ETP coming out. That's the same as an ETF. It's an exchange traded product. And then 2 other ETFs are coming, which will have Dogecoin involved. We've got the Grayscale ETF. We got the Bitwise ETF. We got the Rex Osprey ETF. I only have data on the Grayscale, and it's not much. Bitwise is nothing yet. But Andrew says, look, we hit a super cycle. Daily demand far exceeds supply. Now we've got institutional buyers. Do we really want institutional buyers of Doge? That was my video this morning. It was like, Doge is the people's crypto. We should just have it at that. But Andrew says, hey, Doge hits new all-time highs, 80 cents to $1. And I'm like, okay, if you say so, Andrew, how's that going to happen? Well, here we are on Friday, yet again, another day, now December 5th, and the X money, right, the X payments part of X Twitter still says launching in 2025. There it is, still there. Launching in 2025, another day ticked off the calendar, and it still says $2025. So we're close, right? We're close. Launching in 2025. So there. Dogecoin can slice right through the bulls versus the bears. Some of you are bulls, some of you are bears, some of you are just hanging on whatever it does. I'm still a bear. And so I'm not happy the Dogecoin price is down in the 13s again, but I did predict it and it is there. So it is what it is. Triple bottoms usually aren't good. We don't want to go below 13.5 because that may lead to Doge testing 13 and maybe going into the 12s. We do not want Dogecoin in the 12s, my friends. We don't. But the almighty big boys. I wanted to get down to 13, can get in at a lower price. I've heard that a million times. But that's what it is. So, yeah, crazy. What's going on with Luna Classic? No reason whatsoever that I can see. It's just a meme token now, and it just pumped up 100% today. I don't know who was actually holding Luna Classic, but if I was holding it, I'd sell now. I would sell. Yeah, after October 10th, we were in the purple box for a couple weeks. We dropped down into the red box, have made a couple attempts to get back into the red box and stay there, but this latest move is now failing that. So I was kind of hoping for some kind of relief rally here in December, and right now the market is too weak for that. So maybe next week with the FOMC almost guaranteed for another 25 basis point rate cut, we will see how that plays out. So, yeah. One of my clients mentioned Luna last week, half tempted to text her, but yet again, she should just watch her charts. Yeah. And I recently met someone because we got into this conversation, and we got onto cryptocurrency, and she said that she had a story to tell me, and she told me about Celsius. She had a big chunk of her savings on Celsius, and she had talked her mother into putting money in Celsius, and she had talked her best friend to put money on Celsius. This was back in 2022. They didn't get much back out of that. So, yeah. So Luna, maybe, Charlie, maybe that's about 2022. Someone who may have been invested in Luna and then lost a big chunk when Luna crashed. So, my chart on Bitcoin is Bitstamp. So it depends on which exchange you're looking at, Maramello. And if it's is it a USD or USDT? So there it is. It's USD. I see it right here. Got it. So this is the Bitcoin USD chart on Binance, which does show a wick up to 99K. There it is. So this is probably because of low liquidity and somebody had a limit order set to buy. Is that what would cause it to go up? No, it would be somebody hitting a buy. When was this? It was 3 o'clock in the morning. So 3 o'clock in the morning, low liquidity, and somebody bought market, but somebody else had a limit sell order at 99K. So what happened? It wicked up, grabbed that market order up at 99K because somebody had a limit sell at 99K. And so they got some Bitcoin sold at 99K and it came right back down. That's what that is. It's just middle of the night on the Bitcoin USD trading pair on Binance because it's 3 o'clock in the morning in the United States. So most US traders are asleep. Nobody else is using BTS USD. They all use BTC USDT. So if I go to the USDT chart here and we look at Binance, there's no wick. See that? There's no wick. Because it didn't happen on the Tether chart. It was only the USD chart. So look on the 5-minute. I don't see it. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I don't see it. Oh, no, there it is. It's right there. Well, that's a hell of a wick, isn't it? It went up and down. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. So yeah, that's all like middle of the night shenanigans going on. The gaps are because nobody's buying. You see these little dashes right here? That means nobody bought in those 5-minute time patterns. There were no trades. That's usually what that means. Because it's the middle of the night. Nobody's trading Bitcoin USD on Binance. Just the VPN traders in the United States. Because you can't use Binance in the US. So they're VPN traders. There's not a lot of them. So that's what that is. Yeah, that's kind of strange. That's for sure. Very strange. I got in at 6 cents a while back. You want to buy some now at 13. There's some dips going on, that's for sure. But crypto dogs, if you zoom out even more, then you reach the April 13-cent low. And so now we're retesting that from April, which is not a lower low. Ronnie's a crab. Ronnie's a crab. Gene thinking if I should buy more Dogecoin and Pepe or wait. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. You could nibble a little bit here at this price and save the rest of your dry powder to see what the next move is. Yes, Christian, 47 states I saw. Vermont, they now have Vermont. That was the latest. Just added one more for X and the money transmitter licenses. Brokey boys just hodling. Yep. Lot just hodling, seeing where it goes. Ah, Dusty, in your 72 cents. Not today, my friend. Not today. X Money will not get New York. But they did say that they may launch X Money without having all the states. And New York is going to be one of those that they won't have. Yes, they can launch without the New York. If Doge reaches 20 cents before the end of the year, I'd eat my shoe. I've lost all hope. Yeah, Charles. There will be a lot of people maybe taking profits there because they're not going to believe what's coming for Doge. X Money will launch after everything tops. We may have already topped for everything, though. Bitcoin heat map. Sure. Let me just refresh and get the latest here. There was $425 million in liquidations. Now Luna Classic is coming down, taking out some of the new leveraged longs. Interesting. Fartcoin's still going up. Look at that. Fartcoin. Yeah, Luna Classic is going crazy up and down, taking them out, both up and down now. That's crazy. All right, here is the Binance Bitcoin liquidation heat map. Yeah, kind of neutral here now. They did the job, took out the longs. Now it's neutral. There's a new short right here at 90,000. So maybe they'll come up and grab that. That's pretty heavy short, $35 million right there on Binance. They may want to grab that. We got a tiny bit of snow, cold and windy, but just a little bit. Yep, I do believe in the future of Doge. Absolutely. Wouldn't be here if I didn't. I just wouldn't be here. And that's why I make videos like I did this morning. Because Dogecoin truly is what Bitcoin was meant to be. Nobody's using I mean, BTC Isla, you know, I love it. Isla. I think she's great, right? She got a new video today talking about Bitcoin adoption and using Bitcoin to buy things, but nobody does it. Nobody does it. I would bet that their cafe on Isla de Mujeres is probably not getting a lot of Bitcoin sales. They're really not. That's my guess. The so-called Bitcoin Cafe, I forget what the name of it is, because it's with an M, Mia Callis or whatever the name is. People don't want to spend their Bitcoin, especially now that it's below 90K. It's like, yeah, and like Doge too. You're not going to be buying things with Dogecoin at 13 cents. Now at $1, right? Then you're going to be like, now I'm going to spend my Doge because it's going to be worth a lot more. So you saw another great Doge post on X. Forgot what it was. Well, what do you think about it? Let me know. There's not been a lot of great Doge posts on X recently. Not a lot. Because it's because of the bears, exactly. The bears. There's a lot of bears out there. Oh, the Bears, Chicago Bears, right? Football. They're actually playing very well right now. I'll give it to them. Caleb Williams is balling out. That'd be crazy if the Bears played the Patriots in the Super Bowl. That'd be crazy. Could happen. Never know. A lot more football to be played. The Patriots actually have a bye week. A bye week this week. Yeah, I mean, we talked about the Square Payments thing last week. I guess there was a little more news about it today that I saw. People don't want to spend their Bitcoin. Sellers are, I mean, whatever sellers are accepting Bitcoin, they're not going to get much. They're not going to get much. The Bears aren't making it. All right. Well, who's going to win? It's going to be the Eagles. Eagles have some infighting going on. I don't know what's going on with that team. They're still a good team. The Lions are good. But yeah, it'll be fun. I know, the Lions. The Lions. If people want to donate some Doge for a giveaway, that's when it happens, Joanna. And everyone's just kind of been in shock for a while. So not a lot of Doge donating going on for giveaways. I know, Goose. Lions. Well, Kriss mentioned the Lions again. Yeah, I did. Guess they had a good game last night. I was at a party, so I didn't watch the game. Plus, isn't it on like Prime or something? You can't really watch it on normal TV. You got to have a Prime membership. Yeah, I don't have that. I don't have that. So, Goose, are they going to trade Scooble? Speaking of your Tigers, are they going to trade Scooble for a boatload of players? It was on Stream East. Stream East. Who's got that? I don't have that. I've got regular Verizon Fios. Square for payments. You should be able to accept Bitcoin. Not the same as your beloved Doge, but if somebody wants to pay in Bitcoin, right? Nobody up here has Stream East. Never heard of it. Not in Boston. Dogecoin to 5 cents. That would be a big dip, Romario. I'm bearish, but not that bearish. Turbo. I can always count on you, man. I heard Glenn Fry was kind of a jerk, though. A lot of infighting in the Eagles band. A lot of infighting. Josh, how are you? First time in the live chat. Where do I think Dogecoin will be in 10 years? Absolutely no idea. I can't even predict next week, much less 10 years from now. And anybody that thinks they're going to give a prediction, it's just a wild guess. Nobody knows what cryptocurrency is even going to look like in 10 years. So sorry, I can't even guess at anything because there's no way to know. It could be 13 cents. It could be $13. I mean, who knows? I feel the Patriots are going to the Super Bowl. They got a good shot right now. If they get the #1 seed and all the playoff games are going to be here in Boston, that would be a good thing. What's the actual percentage that Doge or any crypto will actually ever be used as legit currency. No way to know. I kind of think it's going to remain kind of a fringe thing because the push is for stable coins backed by the digital dollar, the US dollar, and stablecoin payments. That's where most of it's going to be, not in cryptocurrencies. But that's my take, and I've been open about that. The Dogecoin adoption will remain a very small percentage. And same with Bitcoin. After Scoobel came out of the biggest game of the season under 100 pitches in the 6th inning, then we lost it and went home. I kind of hope they do trade him. Well, you should. I mean, it would be at the top right now, and you'd get a boatload of players for him. If somebody wants to go all in on him, because he's a damn good pitcher. Doge should make it so you could buy cars in Doge. Except American company, it'll all be stable coins. Stable coins. The best bands all have infighting. Yeah. If Dogecoin takes over everything, how would you buy a stock with Doge? Yeah, right? I don't know how that would all work. Eddie, a lot of people were talking about bear market 2 months ago, but 1 month ago, I switched bear. So I've been bear for a month now. I was waiting for confirmation. All right? You jumped the gun. I waited for confirmation. I got the confirmation. Did it matter? Did it change anything? The old uniforms looked good last week, didn't they, on the Patriots? They had Pat up on the logo on the helmet with the bright red uniforms. Yeah. The Commanders should go back and being the Redskins, Ryan. They should just be the Redskins. The Washington football team was a joke. Redskins. Yeah, I know. That was weird, that game. I did remember seeing that on SportsCenter. Like, why did they take him out? Manager got too cute trying to play the lefty-righty thing. Sometimes that happens. Don't think you can activate Bitcoin payments on Square in the UK. It might only be a US thing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't deal with Square and I don't deal with Bitcoin payments, so I don't know. Why don't you just message Jack Dorsey and ask him? I mean, if Elon isn't responding to your messages, you might want to try Jack. Just ask Jack. Yeah, Washington was great. Being the Redskins, DEI weirdos ruined it. Exactly, Sunshine. I agree. Yeah, you accept Dogecoin. What else matters, right? You've got your niche. You stick with it, right? But if somebody did come along and say that they wanted to pay with Bitcoin or ask, do you accept Bitcoin? Your response is, no, but I do accept Dogecoin, right? That's the response. I do accept Dogecoin. So go buy some Doge and pay me, right? Elon responded and said, okay for the baby, but Ryan said no. How much would that baby be worth, though? Dogecoin reposted it from Coinvo. From Coinvo. I don't know what Coinvo is. Coinvo, because I don't know how else to find what you're looking at. Coinvo. From this, there's a Dogecoin thing. I looked at that one earlier. Eric Trump says Bitcoin is a better investment than real estate. MoneyGram will adopt stablecoin payments. See, stablecoins. Tom Lee, China, strategy, American Bitcoin, dump. DATS, Japan, Lamborghinis are accepting Ethereum. I don't see any Doge thing here. I don't see any Doge. Not recently. I'm back to yesterday now. The CZ Peter Schiff clip was funny. I don't know if you guys saw that. CZ pulled out a gold bar and showed it to Peter and asked him if it was real. And he said, I don't know. It was awesome. November 29th. I got to go back to November 29th. That was like a week ago. That's old news on Twitter. That's really old news. There's a Doge thing right there. Dogecoin is the people's crypto. That's old. I got the pinger on. Something's pinging. We'll check that in a minute. Now that I'm here, I got to go back down to the 29th. See what's going on. There's another Doge thing. A lot of rich people support Bitcoin, but I saw regular guys supporting Doge, so I got in too. That's old. Old. A lot of old stuff. This better be good. This better be good. November 30th, November 30th, November 30th, November 30th, November 29th. Argentina capital Buenos Aires has signed a law to let its citizens pay tax with Doge. I'm guessing that it is crypto and Doge is just one of the cryptos that it accepts, if that's indeed the news. That's typically what it is. It's not, it doesn't just spell out Dogecoin. So that's like all the people that I make fun of saying the United States is going to accept Bitcoin. And it doesn't say that. It says crypto or it says stable coins. It doesn't say Bitcoin, but they always say it says Bitcoin. Can hear the pingling. What was that big one there? It was an ETH leverage long. Yeah, ETH is pulling back down here. Boy, and that one wasn't very long. This is a 5-minute chart, but that 5, 10, 15, 20. That's like only 30 minutes. And they just got liquidated. God. Oh, hey, Kyle, I've got about 400,000 Doge left. 400,000 Doge. I love a double bottom. Now, David, how about a triple bottom, though? What would you do with that? Turbo, always funny. Smash the likes, guys. Appreciate that. Smash the likes. How we doing on a Friday? Everybody all right? What are we doing this weekend? Any good plans? Good plans? We're going to see Holiday Lights tomorrow night. Holiday Lights. There's like a Botanic Gardens out west of Boston. And yeah, so we're going tomorrow night. We got our tickets to go see the Holiday Lights at the Botanical Gardens. And it looks like it's going to be a nice night for it. So Very good. You're close, 340,000. Do I short Doge? No, I don't short anything, Casper, especially Doge, because I don't want the Doge price to go down. So I'm not shorting it. Even though I think it's going to go down, I'm still not shorting it. I just can't do it. Today, Joanna is doing a one KrissPax follower free promotion. Free promotion. You were talking about stock charts? Oh, I was talking about Doge. It's all about the Doge. The Doge. But yeah, this was a pretty big drop overnight. Not gonna lie. It was a pretty big drop. And we ain't recovering. I'm not making a brown box. Not down here. Not making a brown box. Manuel has an average of 19 and we're sitting at 13 now. Yep, I get it. That's the same with, the Bitcoin, all the people that were buying Bitcoin over 100K, and now Bitcoin's at 89. They're all down. Gracie's watching. Yeah, PaxCat just not making a lot of appearances here on KrissPax Live. It's like, where's PaxCat? Everybody loves the cat. I think he stays upstairs because it's cold in the house now and it's warmer upstairs. So he hangs out up there. He likes the warmth. What are you getting paid? It wasn't me. Short kings are cool. Breaking rumor: in an effort to get Dogecoin holders' minds off losses, Greta Gerwig is rumored to have cast Meryl Streep, rumored to play Aslan in the new Netflix. They're going to make a new Narnia? I like the old Narnia. Why do they need a new one? All eyes on Doge. It should be a phone ring. Yeah. Yeah, Turbo. Frank Gehry, not a friend. It's a great architect who I met once. Passed away today. For those that don't know, I posted it on my X account here with Frank Gehry. Very well-known architect that I collaborated with on a project about 25 years ago. Good guy. I always liked his work. It was somewhat controversial. He had all these weird angles and shapes and just merging different odd materials together. Very unique architecture. And some people don't like this stuff, but pushing the boundaries, as I said, and that's what he did. And I like that. And I just was helping make something real of his. So thought outside the box. Exactly. Literally. Took boxes and blew them up. I need to get mad again for PaxCat to arrive. Yeah. They have to make a new Narnia for all the people we sent there. That's good, Charles. That's good. We sent them through the wardrobe with a boot. Through the wardrobe. The old movie was such a great movie. Really was. Well done. Anything big supposed to happen before Christmas? What do you think? Before Christmas? X Money? Launching in 2025. Could it be before Christmas? I live in Narnia. Wouldn't it be cool if you could just walk through the wardrobe, Brian? Just walk through a wardrobe and all of a sudden be in like Manchester? Just walk through a wardrobe. And you'd probably start speaking with a British accent too. Thank you. Thank you, Duchess. I mean, he was just a great architect I was a fan of. Am I ready for 10 cents? Not yet. Pump a lot. Not yet. I did predict 9.5 though as the target for bear market. X money, baby. I'd like to see a great crypto move come our way. Well, you know, Joanna, I have predicted that Dogecoin is going to lead the relief rally. That's right. Dogecoin will lead the relief rally. It won't be Luna Classic. No. Nothing else is moving. But if Doge starts moving, then everything follows. So it's going to be Dogecoin. Oh, you guys already talked about that? That's funny. That's funny. I would still speak with my hillbilly accent. Some things you just can't change, right, Turbo? Some things you just can't change. RR, Q1 2026. What's going to happen then, RR? What is happening? It's not that far away. It's not that far away. Bitcoin's still hanging at 89, just not. Friday afternoon, just not moving. Just about all the stocks I was watching were in the green except Megal, and then Megal gave it all up already after market. People buying at $1.27 when it was $1.30 to end the day. Stupid 4 shares. 4 shares. Drops the price. So dumb. Thinking positive thoughts for Q1? Yep, we already had a boot. It was actually a double boot around town. It was a double boot. He got booted once, and then he came back with a new account. And then Charlotte took care of that because he was just being a troll. Double boot. Double boot. We live in a crazy world, so why not $1? Exactly, MGO. Which is why not? You still sound like an Archie. Arkansas accent, is that a specific accent? A little bit of a southern drawl with hillbilly mixed in. The Q4 2026 will melt faces. Thank you, Ryan. You know how much I love that. Oh, I never want Ryan to lose his accent. Well, then he shouldn't come to the UK. Because then he'll get this British accent if he hangs out too much there. Elon will come through, the Doge father. You never know with him. I call it the wild card. Yeah, Turbo. I mean, you can watch me, or you can look at the hopium that happens on other channels, right? Hopium. That was Bitcoin. $107,000 trade. Just got wiped out on Bitcoin. Average traders not going to learn. Oh, thank you, Charlotte. Like Jed Clampett. Were they from Arkansas? Beverly Hillbillies were from Arkansas? You're already starting to sound British. See how easy it is? I know, so many predictions, but nobody knows a damn thing, R. Nobody knows a damn thing what's going to actually happen. Let me start with digital ID. It's all going to be stable coins, Marmello. Stable coins. People are going to be so disappointed once they actually find out. But I've been talking about it for 6 months now. Stable coins. It's not going to be a Bitcoin strategic reserve. The government, US government, is not buying any Bitcoin. It's all about stable coins, backed by the almighty US dollar. That's what they want. They don't want to support cryptocurrencies. That goes against the US dollar. They don't want to do that. The Truth Seeker says Bitcoin to 67, Doge to 9. Yeah, I've been calling 69K and 9.5 cents. So you're not far off mine. Pretty close. Pretty close. Oh, you're spelling color with a U. Oh, Ryan, no. No. Oh. Elon's a father too. He's a father to a lot of kids, actually. A lot of kids. More than we know, I'm sure. Don't you dare sound British or else. There it comes again. Well, you're just going to have to change your accent, Charlotte. You have to speak in a different accent. You need to start faking like a French accent. Like really French. Get sick of the hopium channels. God, they're all over the place. David sold at 21, waiting to get back in at a lower price. Good move. Grew up in Hot Springs. I know where that is. Joanna would fit in really well in the UK, except for the weather. You're kind of enjoying your weather out there. Why would you want to go to the UK? Cold, drizzly, gray skies. No, you wouldn't last very long. You'd get so depressed. Oh. Well, I get it, right? Nobody knows, so be a bull, right? The DLO shares, Michael? Don't know what that is. Charlotte has good teeth. That's good. Good dental hygiene. It's good to do. See you, sunshine. You have a strange accent. Not French, not British. Some kind of mix. I saw people taking profits. Hey, you know, when something goes up like that, people will take profits, especially in this market. It's so uncertain. When we're forced to use their digital money, it'll be wild. It's coming. You know it's coming. They're going to get rid of the paper currencies. It's all going to be digital. The crackheads in Manchester. Yep, you can still use that word. I have a Southern accent. I went to Canada. The ladies would tell me they love my accent. They love the Southern American accent. Wow. Nick's is generic Cali. The generic Cali. Well, Joanna, you're a duchess. You should get to see the royal family. You're a duchess. Come on. Yeah, we talked about Luna and Luna Classic, both of them pump a lot. Crazy. No reason. Just because. Hey, DB, how are you? Nice of you to check in on a Friday. What's going on? We're just hanging. Doge dropped and now kind of going sideways down here. I'm not making a brown box. Not making a brown box. But yeah, not a great day for Doge or Bitcoin. Took out all that leverage. See what the Doge heat map looks like now. Dogecoin. Probably not up much of anything. Yep. There's some new shorts up here, some new longs down there, and Doge is just hanging out in the middle. What's it going to be? What's it going to be? Bull or bear? What's the next move? Bull or bear? Asian people still love the Luna Classic. Really? Wow. Well, they pumped it today. Doge volume low. Yep, still low. We can see that on the charts when you zoom out. You go to like the weekly time frame and you see like it's just down. It's been down most of the year. We had a few nice upticks. One in May, one in July, one in September, and then we had the big red one, which of course was the October 10th week, where it was a big red candle down. That ended up being big volume, but now it's just tailing off. So pretty weak. Yeah, we were talking about maybe 2 consecutive green weeks for Doge. Nope, not anymore. The weekly is now a big fat red candle. I mean, so is Bitcoin. So yeah, ETH is still green. ETH is still green on the week. Christmas. Oh, you guys. Pengu does attract the Asian market, but Pengu has not been trading well either. So it's just tough in this bear market now. Look at that. Just red, 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 right down. That's not good. It's had a few dips below a penny. And here we were tracking 3 cents up here with the yellow line. And now it's 1 cent. If you had to predict, down. That's where I am too, DB. All I want for Christmas is Pengu. I want Pengu back to 4 cents. That's what I want. Let's just go back up to 4 cents. I liked it up there. Yeah, that's not a good chart. John, we don't know any details, and we don't even know if something is actually going to happen. And Trump cannot change the tax laws. Only Congress can. So I'm guessing nothing's going to happen. You want a Doge dog? A Shiba Inu pup? You really want one? A friend of mine has a Shiba pup. Very temperamental. Yeah, I thought, 6 months ago, I was talking a lot about Pengu and the Asians and how they love the penguin, but bear market just took it all out. All I want for Christmas is the crypto market to have a massive pump. For weeks. Wow. For weeks. You don't like Dave Ramsey? Hey, Dave helped make a lot of people really more not lose money. Maybe not make a ton of money, but not lose. And I think he was good for that, for a big portion of the population. He just never got into Bitcoin. So Bitcoin dominance still hanging 59s. It's just kind of going sideways. Luna. It's starting to pull back now. But so is Bitcoin. Pulling back. It doesn't look good. If we drop below 88.2, it could wick down much lower to take out more leverage trades. And it's looking that way. Not great. So I know, DB, if we only had some fancy news, I get it. So that's where we are today, 13/8, going into the weekend. I will be live next on Sunday. So join then on Sunday. Saturday, we're going to the holiday lights. So won't be streaming. Probably have a video come out tomorrow, kind of wrap things up for the week and look forward to next week. So look for that. I hope everyone has a great Friday night. We'll see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.